Hello, friends. Today I'm going to make a political prediction. Yes, what I think is going to happen next. Hello, magnificent humans. My name is Maria Elise, and I wrote The Realm of Unity. That is a utopian fantasy or a guidebook home to yourself. So if you are seeking a savior, one will be provided. This is what I think is coming next. This isn't a destiny, and it is not based on anything other than what I am seeing and what I am feeling in what is in the zeitgeist. This does not have to happen, but I feel strongly that I want to speak about this just so that our eyes can be open. And my only goal is to support all of us in awakening to the magnificent human that lives inside each and every one of us. We have forgotten for so long who we are, and the world, the universe, will stop at nothing to help us awaken. And that is my highest perspective, is that everything that happens, no matter how much it feels like we are a victim of the circumstance, we are not. We are not the victims. We are here to awaken. We are here to remember. We are here to recognize the truth of who we are, and we are here to create a more beautiful world. And yet, here we are, lost, often confused, and I'm in the process of finding myself. And in that process, I'm compelled to speak and share what is going on for me. And I recently did a Facebook post on why I did not go to the King's rally. And I knew some people would misunderstand it and think that it was because I'm opposed to protesting, or I'm complacent, or I don't care about what's happening. And that's not at all the reality. I love the fire and the passion and the creativity and the desire for change. I love that energy. However, my concern is that the rally was focused on getting rid of one person. And I do not believe that is the issue. If you are one of the people who think, oh my gosh, I mean, as DJT gets more and more unhinged and gets more and more like insane and committing horrific acts, I believe it's an act. I believe it's a setup. I believe that we are being, and I'm not saying he is anything or whatever, but there's a reason we're being fed this insanity, because basically we're living under a control grid. It is a control grid designed to siphon our energy and to make us angry and afraid and small. And this is not, I mean, we're victims, but it is a universal ploy to try to make us continue to forget who and what we are. So please know we are not victims. It is merely the universe doing its work to try to shake us awake, because we are in this time of massive awakening. And so what I see happening is this incredible ferocity and a begging for new leadership. And the way I see that is basically just asking for a new slave owner. That's how I see it. Because what happens is it is no skin off of their nose to bring in a savior, a lovely voice, maybe an immigrant, maybe a dark-skinned female who will play the game, who is going to say all the sweet words and whisper sweet nothings in our ear and tell us all the things we want to hear and tell us we're all in this together, and remind us that they're gonna fix everything for us, and we'll be so grateful, and you will know that this is a false prophet because of what comes next. And what comes next is the same old stuff. What comes next are the promises. What comes next are the atrocities and the excuses for why we needed to do that atrocity, why we needed to steal your freedom, why we needed to take that money from you, and why you should pay your taxes to us so that we can fund this war, because we're trying to make this world safer for you, and why you should believe in us, and why you need those mandates, and why you need to force yourself to fit yourself into a small little box, because we have to get together and do this all together. But what you will notice is that person at the top is not complying with any of their rules. Yeah? This is how you understand a false leader, is when they make rules for you that they do not have to abide by. When they are explaining to you why they had to do these horrific things for the good of all. When they start making laws that restrict your body and your freedom and your rights, and you find that your paycheck is getting smaller and smaller and smaller as all your money is going to fund more wars, more poisoning on our food, more poisoning in the air, more poison in the water. This is not a true leader. If you haven't noticed, I have zero faith in our government ever coming to save us or coming to the rescue. I do not believe it's possible to vote or protest our way out of this kerfluffle conundrum that we have gotten ourselves in. No, we are being called to step into our own power, to claim our own sovereign right, to stop looking up for a savior, to start looking to each other, to build this beautiful world that our hearts long for. You see, my heart believes, I know that we have the possibility of building an incredible, beautiful world where everyone lives in abundance and everyone's needs are not just met, but exceeded beyond all expectation. We are here to make manifest heaven on earth. We are so incredibly powerful, and yet we have forgotten. We have given our power to another over and over and over again. And we will be deceived over and over and over again, because we are so loved by the universe, so loved. And the universe will pull out all the stops and go to no end of deception to shake us awake and help us remember the truth of who we are. We are in this powerful, powerful time of remembering, and it is so important to recognize the traps, anything that pulls you in, anything that tells you to be afraid, anything that tries to steal your freedom while at the same time they are not conforming to their own laws. If you haven't noticed, the people at the top take our money, they reward themselves, they take more and reward themselves again, they fly around in jets, they buy more houses, and they fund their wars. That is what we're working for. We are the slaves. I watched a movie recently, The Jones Plantation. It was very, very awakening and enlivening, and I highly recommend it, The Jones Plantation. And it's all about, the games that we are being given, the games that we are watching. We're basically so engrossed in the game that we don't notice that we have been squashed down into these little boxes. And again, I want to say this again loud and clear. I do not believe we are victims. We have played as much of a role in this as they have. And all tyrants need a victim, and all victims need a tyrant. And if the victim no longer plays the game, the tyrant can't do it anymore. And they're just as much trapped as we are. Even though it might not look like that, they might look like they have everything, but you can never know what is inside the soul. And in the end, every single one of us, all of our souls want to be free. All of our souls want peace. We all want deep, deep in our core of our being to be loved and cared for and valued and supported. And we all want this beautiful world when we stop and truly look inside ourselves. And this desire is underneath all those fears. It's underneath all that conditioning. It's underneath all that programming that we have so deep inside us. But we're in this time where things are cracking open, my friends. Things are cracking open. And it is time to truly step in to all that you are and all that you're meant to be and everything you have ever wanted. And how do you do this? That's what I heard. I heard one of you say that. How do you do that? So it takes getting quiet and going inside and truly listening and waking up to that truth inside yourself. For me, it looks like meditation or walking quietly in the woods and listening to that inner voice, which guides me. It guides me to make these videos. It guided me to write my book. It guides me to the people that I need to talk to. And if I am struggling, if I am trying to make something happen, that's not it. It is a peaceful, deep knowing. And we do not live in a world yet that helps us remember that in every moment. And that's the task. It's to help remember in every moment and just to keep coming back to, oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, right. I forget all the time. We're all in this process. And some people are more firmly established in that. If you find someone like that, make friends because they can help you and guide you forward. A true leader will always and only ever guide you into yourself. If you are following anybody or anything that is not guiding you into yourself, then they are likely trying to use you to fulfill some of their ego needs. And, it's very common and often innocent. We don't realize we're doing it. But in the end, we all are here to remember our magnificence, to remember the truth of who we are, and to reclaim that incredible power within. And I'm sorry for the shaky video, as I didn't get out my tripod. I'm just holding it, but I'm sorry for the shaky. But, I like these impromptu videos. They just kind of happen sometimes. And I hope this was helpful, and I send you so much love. Mwah.